Hello, 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 and welcome to another episode of Bravo, We're Black. I am one half of Bravo, We're Black, Kaya, whatever you want to call me, and this is your double episode with positively uncensored Leah. Leah is in the house, and we are both just co-hosting today because we just want to get straight to it. The Summer House Aftermath, Doomsday, Secret Wars next year sequel came out last night, and you know that we literally have to talk about this just as we talked about the finale, not the finale of the reunion on Positively Uncensored, which is on my channel. It is on Leah's channel. I mean, like, you're not missing anything because we share our content so both of you, our audiences can get it. Leah, how are you today?
I'm doing great. I'm excited to be here. And if you are not watching this podcast, if you're a visual person, get on it. Kaya's lighting looks phenomenal today. Your lighting is so good. You look great.
Thank you. It's because I've used some PR stuff that I got from like beauty companies.
Okay.
So I'm like, might as well because I'm out of my beauty stuff. So I'm like, let me put this serum on and do like a 10-step routine. Um Okay, so we gotta get into it. Like let's just straight get to the bottom of things because this was supposed to be the episode where we got more answers.
Eh,
Amanda is supposedly in an environment where it's not the whole cast coming at her. She's not on her quote unquote beta blockers or whatever everyone wanted to say that she and Wes were on. We got three different one-on-ones. It was Amanda and Lindsay, Wes and Kyle, Ciara and Miha in that order. And wow, although it wasn't what I expected, I'm okay with just closing this chapter and being fucking done with these people. Like, what, just overall, what did you think?
I'm so ready to be done. I'm so excited. Um, I don't know that we got that much new
Nope.
information. However, I mean, I guess I enjoyed I don't know. I don't know how I felt about the episode. I'm glad it's over. I'm really fucking glad it's over. I don't wanna hear about this situation. I wanna focus on Sierra's next endeavors. I can't wait to put it behind us.
I want to know because I'm looking at a lot of different things that are going on. I want to bring up because obviously there's three segments which we'll get into, but the most popular thing in each segment. Um,
Perfect.
okay, so the first one, Amanda finding out that he is still talking to girls, namely Miha in real time from Lindsay. The internet is abuzz on that. What do you feel about that?
Unmoved. I'm like, "Okay." She already knew he was talking to other girls at the same time as her before, so I don't think that Amanda was that shocked, and I don't think it moved her or steered her off course in any capacity to think that this relationship was a bad idea. So personally, I almost felt unmoved by it, and I think Amanda did too. I don't think she was fucking shocked to hear that.
No, even though she was like, "What?" Okay, the second thing is from the second session, of course, Wes and Kyle, people are talking about how Wes, we thought that he would be able to talk more, more similarly to how he chats on his podcast with Kyle rather than how he is on stage. And instead, we got more of no answers, word salad, same terrible communicator, unprepared, disrespectful Wes. So what did you think about that, or were you surprised, or what?
Okay, before we go to that, I just have to go back for just 1 second to Amanda and Lindsay's chat because something that
Oh,
really
well,
stood
I just wanted to know, like, just like we're
Oh,
gonna go through them in
oh,
detail, but
okay.
I'm just
Okay,
hitting
I
like the
thought this was
popular
it. I was like,
points.
"Wait a second,
Yeah, no,
I have to get
I'm not
something else
gonna,
out."
yeah, no. We're just hitting the popular points of each thing,
Okay,
like the buzz
perfect.
points of each little conversation. I just wanted to know your thoughts on what
Okay.
everyone is surprised about.
Okay, I'm locked in. West not being prepared for a situation, sitting there avoiding eye contact, par for the course, not surprised. Kyle really showed how well spoken he is and how people called him a professional online. I would agree with that assessment, and it was just yeah, those are my opening thoughts on that.
Okay. And then the last one is that people feel that Ciara and Miha should no longer be in contact because they feel that Miha may be using Ciara because she's still in contact with Wes. What do you think about that?
I hadn't thought of that. I don't know if that's necessarily the reason that I would say that they shouldn't be in contact, but I agree that they shouldn't be in contact because I think that Miha, from the sounds of their conversation, is just waiting on Wes to wrap it up with Amanda and come back to her. And I find that odd that his behavior towards Ciara wasn't enough for her to think, wow, this guy's a really shitty person.
Okay, and those are like the three hot topics for each sesh. I'm like, I wonder what Leah thinks about like all three of these because I stand in the middle for some of them. But now we can go in detail for each sit down. Like, let's start from the get go, which is we see Amanda come in with her leggings, and I was like, I know she's about to be on some bullshit. Those leggings for some reason pissed me off. So like I don't know, like I'm pissed off by the bun, but now the bun has become the butt of the joke. Get your FDB t-shirts. But those leggings for some reason I'm like this bitch is about to say something that is going to set me off. She sits down with Lindsay and Lindsay does I don't want to say that she does a better job than Andy Cohen with these questions. I'm thinking that Lindsay knows that she has a show to save, and she's trying to pretty much get through to Amanda to see that she is being manipulated, which at this point, no, she is not, in my opinion, at
Agreed.
least. I really appreciate it though that Lindsay was trying to just, like, wake up, girl, leave him. It's not worth it. And obviously it didn't work. Um, but I think that that's also what Lindsay needed to see because she's been on Threads. Shout out to Threads. Everyone has been popping off on Threads. Kyle, not Amanda, Kyle, Lindsay, Ciara, Mia, KJ, like Threads users are elite, and Lindsay has really been like giving us the insight on some things that they cut out and what she feels, after that sit down and all that stuff. And I will say, a lot of people are giving Lindsay shit about how she's trying to work from her PR side, which I understand in a way. Like, you have a show to save, you have a child, mama needs to make money, and Amanda is a part of this show, and you guys need to come back. But at the same time, Lindsay also said that after that conversation and after seeing that Amanda went to Italy with Wes, she said that she doesn't really have hope for her, and in order to be her friend you have to have integrity and you have to be someone who's worthy of being her friend. So I feel like this also opened Lindsay's eyes that she doesn't want to be saved, and also she is not a victim. I think that it had to come down to this, and people are upset with it. What did you like? What are some of the things that you really held on to from that sit down with Amanda and Lindsay?
First of all, I think that so me and my best friend were talking this morning. Shout
Hmm.
out you, Bree, if you're listening.
Hey, Brie.
But we were talking and I enjoyed the fact that Lindsay sort of made Amanda feel at ease enough to have the conversation while
Right.
also not letting her just not accepting what she's saying and pushing back on that. We were talking about that this morning. So I
Yeah.
really took that away from the conversation. Um I also think I took away Amanda is entertained by this.
Yeah.
And even as Lindsay was talking to her, you can just tell that Amanda was already thinking about how her and Wes were going to laugh about this later or
Yep.
have a conversation. And I found that infuriating.
Hmm.
And the other thing is she looked pathetic. She really looked pathetic, especially sitting there with Lindsay who's pretty secure in herself and
Mhm.
confident and doesn't allow people to tell her who she is and doesn't change her personality when she's in relationships. And then Amanda's sitting there and questioning the difference between self-love and love and validation from a man. Those were my few standout points. What about you?
The reason that I liked this part of the sit down is that it just made Amanda look even worse. Like,
Mhm,
there were so many excuses that so many people have tried to give Amanda. Oh, she's on a stage where everyone is going to be attacking her. Oh, she may have taken something to calm her nerves. Oh, she's with Wes, so she doesn't want to say too many things in front of him. There was just every excuse in the book that certain people were trying to give her the benefit of the doubt. And I feel like in this sit down, even when she's learning that Wes said that she pursued him, she has a smirk on her face. She's not sorry. She thinks that it's cute. And
mhm,
she thinks that it's cutesy, like, oh, that's like our thing. He pursued me. Oh no, I'm gonna say that I pursued him. He pursued me. Like, what? It doesn't matter because at the end of the day, she sees him as the prize, and she got him in the end. So it doesn't matter what people are saying. Like, this guy is saying that you pursued him, and you should actually think that that is crazy because you're telling me that he's the one who said, am I crazy or is this something? And she's even going as far as to talk about, like, oh, if we're going to do this, it has to be serious. And I want to talk about, talk about having kids soon, which is something that Kyle wanted to talk about years ago, and she just wasn't ready to have kids. Then we have the part where she talks about, which was so crazy to me, that it's just the amount of West that was in this conversation, male validation that she appreciated, getting back to herself and having love from a man that she could have went out with Mia and Ciara or even Katie DeLuca or whoever the fuck is her friend on In the City, but instead she liked to hang out with Wes and Wes friends. You could have got that same high and got back to
mm,
yourself by hanging out with girls, even if it wasn't Ciara, but instead it was Wes. And Lindsay tried to bring up Ciara, and she didn't think of Ciara one
mhm,
single time. So
mhm,
I liked it because it just showed every excuse that you guys tried to give her. She put that in the dirt, buried it, and in the words of Alicia from Real Housewives of Rhode Island, she buried it in the ocean. So I
mhm.
I loved this sit down because it just showed me who her character was.
As you're talking, you made me remember a couple of things. I also was thinking as Lindsay dropped that bomb on her that West said that she was the one obsessed with him, asking him to hang out, and that he told Ciara that. When was that conversation? Like, that's another thing. I'm like,
Right.
am I missing something? Like, I
No.
don't know that we heard that much about that conversation. Was it filmed? Was it on the phone? Was it in person? Like, I wish that there was more context to that conversation.
Mhm.
Um, she's also starting the relationship. I don't know if it's necessarily an ultimatum is the right word, but Amanda, like, this is just so, so incredibly embarrassing on all fronts. It's like if the equivalent would be going and buying your own ring and telling your boyfriend that he needs to propose to you.
Yeah.
You're forcing him to see a future in this relationship and saying that it's the only thing that would make it worth it. And
Mhm.
if he's as much of a chameleon as he's not denied that he is, and if he just wants to hit it, Amanda, and get at Ciara, then he's gonna play this part, and she's so dumb, and that's what's sad as well. It wouldn't what hanging out with Ciara, hanging out with Katie DeLuca, hanging out with the other girls, it's not enough for Amanda. She would rather have a comment "nice cans" by Jessie on her Instagram than actually have friendship with women, a genuine friendship.
And that's sad, and that's another lie that she's telling, right? She's like, "I've never had that from another guy before." Babe, we thought you were gonna actually leave Kyle and go to Jesse because of the amount of comments that Jesse used to leave on her Instagram, the inside jokes that you guys had, the teasing that we've had. Then we had the whole situation with Ben. We thought that there was gonna be something with Ben. Little did we know it was Wes. Like, you had male validation, you had female validation. Just admit that you didn't give a fuck. It was Wes who you wanted, and it's
Yep.
Wes who you got. Point blank, period.
And now you lie in the bed and enjoy the consequences of picking West and being picked allegedly by West, because we'll get to that in a second when we get to Ciara's conversation with Miha.
Yeah. Is there anything else that came up between Lindsay and Amanda that was really like any shockers? Anything that got you that you were like,
I think that okay, I understand some of why Amanda did what she did in terms of having a crisis and going after male validation. As far as that person being her best friend's ex, I'll never understand. And just because I
yes.
can understand a piece of Amanda in her relationship doesn't mean that she's the victim, and it doesn't excuse her behavior and choosing that. But I was a little shocked to hear her talk about, not shocked, but I feel like she's a very, like, she's not self-aware, and so when she talked openly about the fact that, like, she needs that male validation, it was different
Mhm.
coming from them as opposed to Ciara and her best friends, and that she recognizes that she's jumping from Kyle to West, and that's making her feel whole and euphoric and like she's herself again. I
Right.
just feel like if you can say that out loud, then you're probably in therapy talking about that and you've made a conscious decision to ignore advice from your therapist. Um, or they've dropped you as a client because you're not listening because you are aware. Like, you're aware of how this is coming off. You're aware of how bad this is, and yet you still chose to not do anything differently. Like, and I'm glad Lindsay told her, you imagine the situation you put yourself in, Amanda, when the whole world was ready to be on your side and have your back, and you
Yep.
fucked up so bad and fumbled so badly that now people forgot how bad of a husband Kyle was. I'm glad that she heard that.
Yeah, I'm so glad that she heard that because she thought that that was gonna be her saving grace at the reunion, and we
Mhm,
saw that it absolutely wasn't. Like, yeah,
mhm.
Kyle was a bad husband, and guess what? You're a worse friend.
Yeah,
So it's literally
that's worse, honestly. I'd rather,
yeah,
be like, "Oh, Amanda was a shitty wife to
yeah,
Kyle," than be like, "Oh, Amanda's a shitty friend." Like,
yeah.
I was willing to forgive the fact that you should, if you were gonna continue staying with him, you should have forgave him a while ago, and I was willing to let go the uncomfortable comments, the shade at Kyle, think it's kinda
Mhm.
funny in the seasons in the past. But
Right.
now, no,
Yeah, now you completely look like a woman who also was just, like, out. You didn't care about your marriage, you didn't care
at
about
all.
fixing things, and
Mhm,
it's crazy because you talk about it on In the City that you cared about that, but let's move on to someone else who didn't care anything about,
mhm,
Sierra or his friends in general as well. Wes, he comes over to Kyle's house, and I put on Threads, which is the God's honest truth because I watched it a second time. The entire time, Amanda is there, sitting there, validating her emotions, her feelings, and how she feels when she is with Wes. Whereas Wes, the little words that he did get out was about how he was going to be perceived, the show, and everything that was happening in the context of how it looks and the timeline. Her focus is on Wes, whereas his focus is on the public. And I think
mhm.
that it's so hilarious that he walked in and the first thing that he was worried about is like, oh, I don't think they'll be able to see this. Like, yeah, because guess what? You're gonna come here and you're gonna say nothing as usual, and you're out of a fucking job, dude. Like, you're out of a job. Go back to sports journalism, go back to your podcast and fade into obscurity. And that made me so happy too, because we thought that, okay, from the preview, maybe we'll get more from Wes when, especially when you ask, "Are you in love with her?" We didn't get, like, a real answer on that, like, we didn't get real answers on the timeline. He didn't think that he was gonna ask that much about, like, Miha. He was coaching Miha on the phone, but it didn't work because Kyle had already gotten the tea from Miha because he'd been so dumb and so sloppy in how he handled the situation. Even though he may have Miha on this leash that people are saying that he has her on online, if that is true, regardless, he made it to her too late, and it shows, again, their character. Amanda's talking about Wes not talking about how it affected Ciara or the group, and Wes is just talking about TV the whole time.
And I think that that just really sort of ferments. Amanda's calculated as well because she did this to spite Ciara, so did West, but West is very calculated, and he's a performer, and he's a bad performer. Boo, tomato, because it's not, you can't even be convincing when you're sitting there and telling Kyle, the one thing that I can't say is that, or I won't regret, I refuse to regret, is having feelings for Amanda. Amanda, that's been the greatest thing to happen to my life. Like all of this bullshit, like, you don't mean that. You know that that's what he would like to hear from you. And it's weird that we watched you try to coach Amanda at the reunion when you were like, you should probably be more empathetic or perhaps don't storm off. We've heard you coach Miha. West just likes to coach a situation. Him and Amanda just like coach each other. Like
Yeah.
they had a conversation. This is what Kyle wants to hear. This is what people want to hear. We can't just be willy nilly about this relationship. We have to have friends to lovers arc. Sorry, that's it.
No, that literally is it because Wes was like, "Well, this is the first time in a relationship that we had that foundation of a friendship for 3 years." What the fuck does that have to do with betraying literally everyone else in your friend group? Because you're talking about how literally, like, you would the whole the not baseball, basketball, them playing basketball comment thing was just insane to me. The whole, "Oh, I lied to this person, that person, that person." He didn't even bring up KJ, who poor KJ brought into this fucking group, first black man on this iteration of Summer House, someone who you just saw at the reunion, reveal this diagnosis that he had, supposed to be your homeboy, and you don't even like bring him up or talk about him. Like, you don't care about Sierra, you don't care about what you've done to this actual show, this friend group. And I know that it might seem petty, but I think off principle alone, it's one thing that she claimed and they claimed not to have watched the rest of the episodes for their mental health right before the reunion. But also, if you know you're going in to film,
Mhm.
pick up scenes, the very least that you could have done was watch the fucking episodes because it's been some time and you guys have been together.
It's your job. Find 10K per episode you didn't watch or more. Like, you should have to watch it. Also, that was another thing she admitted in her conversation with Lindsay. She doesn't want to
Yep.
watch the show back to think about through the lens of how people are going to interpret things. And it's like, no, Amanda, you have to go through it to get through it and to humble your fucking self and to see the situation. And your refusal to do that not only is going to hurt you because of public perception, but it's just going to stunt your growth as a person. And whether you repeat this situation over again or you're just forever Amanda Batuglia, not fun, like you're not growing from this situation.
The crazy thing is that she claims that she didn't watch the episodes because she's gonna see it, and for her mental health, she's gonna know what everyone is gonna say online. But wouldn't that mean that you'd have to be offline? And she hasn't been offline, and
Yep.
neither has Wes. Neither of them have been offline, so they've been seeing what people have been saying about them regardless. So it cancels out any kind of explanation she's trying to give for not watching the show. And if you don't want to watch the show you're on, you should also not be on it. Like, obviously, I haven't talked about it yet, but you guys know that Wes has been fired. Hallelujah. Wes fired, hallelujah. I'll probably get into that in another whole episode, like dancing on his fucking grave.
40
Um,
days.
but it's like at this point, I would love to see Amanda go too, because, I understand why they would give Amanda a little bit more of a chance as a network, not friends, but as a network because she's been there for 10 years and maybe, he can come in as her boyfriend and see if it's gonna work, and if it doesn't work, we can see her and have that redemption arc, which failed on Vanderpump Rules, by the way. But this girl does not even care about the show. She
Mhm.
doesn't need to be on it.
We don't need to see her, and I fear that yeah, like, Ciara is such a kind person and empathetic, and I fear that eventually once Amanda gets burned, she's gonna show up destroyed like she should have been when she lost her friendship with Ciara, and I fear that like, Sierra's going to feel
Forgive
for
her.
her. You're right, the same way that, like, yeah, Lindsay and Danielle aren't friends, but she still feels for her when she's going through a situation, so I'm just like, "Keep them apart." Like, unless Sierra's like, "No, bring that bitch back." I want her to sit in what she did and act as comfortable as she was doing behind my back, then fair and fine. I would wanna see it, but if that's not happening, I'm good on her.
Yeah, like it's whatever Sierra wants at this point. West, also demonic. The dog knows West. Like that would have literally I would I would have been like, we're not filming today because if we film today, we're fighting. You know my dog?
I made a joke, this was so embarrassing. So first of all, there was 1,000 people in Kaya's live thread, that live
It
chat
was
that she
so
did.
fun. Thank you for coming, by the way.
It was so fun. It was fun to be there. It was also overstimulating, but it was
Yeah.
so fun just because of the TV, not because of the chat itself. But I made a joke in front of 1,000 people, not I think maybe one person hearted it, but I'm like, oh, like,
No, it's because the chat goes so
no, no, no.
fast.
It was because people didn't think it was funny, and the joke was that when Reese was climbing all over West and clearly knew him and wanted to play with him the same way that they always do, I said in the chat, "Okay, Reese, it's time for crate crate." And, because, no, what you're not gonna do is climb all over him in front of me, and obviously I'm kidding, right? Keep your dogs
Yeah.
out. But this is a dangerous man. You don't need to be climbing all
Yes.
over him, laying on your back, getting belly rubs. I'm so glad Kyle called that out. Um, 2 more things before we move along and I forget. Um,
Yeah.
okay, West also saying, like you mentioned, West tells Kyle that this is the first relationship coming from 3 years of a steady friendship that he's ever had. First of all, lie. Second of all, he also said in added at the tail end of that sentence that it was the first relationship that's not performative, and you just tell on yourself at every chance. We're
Yeah.
supposed to believe that just this one time, suddenly for Amanda Batula, as Dave Portnoy said, I hate, fuck you, Amanda, for making me quote him, but you think
Yeah.
someone's gonna change for Amanda Batuglia? Like,
Right.
you're out of your mind. Not happening. Next, Kyle having to be the one to convince Amanda not to fly out for a podcast and try to tell her story, and West just, I don't know, not caring or whatever. Um, yeah, I just find this is the situation you deserve, I guess. Like, you had to fight for a relationship with Kyle in the beginning, and for him to close off and be committed, and now you're about to do the same thing with West until you're 50 years old.
It's the fact that her husband is more worried about her looking like a side bitch more than her boyfriend who is making her a side bitch.
Mhm.
That's the craziest part. As she talks about how much she feels like herself again, how she feels like she's in her 20s again, how she feels like she's a little girl again. Like it's crazy to even like, watch her admit out loud, but it's good. Like, I don't know, you guys, like, I think that this was a good episode and not like, "Oh, it's juicy, there's tea, we found out anything." Like, no, these 2 idiots are
Mhm.
exactly who they are on the reunion and who they
Yep.
are when we see these stunts. Like, they know exactly what they're doing. They know exactly how things come off, especially Wes. They know what's going on. She's not being manipulated. She likes it. She's smirking while Lindsay tells her things that she should be furious about.
Wes knows exactly how things sound. He sat there, and again, Lindsay had to bring up Ciara. Kyle has to bring up Ciara in this
Yep,
situation. And he sits there and tries to make her, shout out to whoever said this in your chat, tries to make her sound crazy. Oh,
yep.
Ciara asked for my address. Okay.
What the fuck?
You know he was intentionally saying that to make it sound like she overstepped or made him feel uncomfortable or like she was the one pursuing him. We saw you try to get her in your bed as
Yep.
Jesse Solomon essentially asked, "What are you doing?" I don't think you wanna play the game or the way that you're talking about these women, they talk about you that way because 'cause you're making people sound
Like
out
a
to be
predator.
predators. Thank
Yep.
you. To
Yep.
catch a predator, and the predator the whole time
Yep.
is Westmanda.
Listen, Kinsey would love Wes because
Which one's
he's the
Kenzie?
predator. Kinsey from Love Island, USA. You know how she's like, "I wanna be a gazelle and I want a
Oh
lion."
my god,
Like,
yes!
bitch, you would love Wes
You wanna be
so much.
hunted, you wanna be
Yeah,
consumed, and then forgotten about, and
and then
that's what
forgotten
West will
about,
do.
left. So, yeah, I could see them getting along very well. It's also the behind the scenes of it all. You know, they say Miha's name, you know, Jesse is like, "Oh, you've been texting a girl." Producers are asking about, you know, "Do you have this girlfriend that you see?" And I'm like, "Producers, don't piss me off because what did you know?" Like, why didn't you put this in the script? Why didn't this make the cut?
Right, you need to hire me because 'cause I'll listen to every word that they say. I'll lock in, like, "What, you guys missed who's Miha?" And didn't be like, "Are you hiding a relationship? What's going
Literally,
on?"
and then, like, all the unseen bits, the Jesse of it all, and I'm like,
Mhm.
I'm trying not to get mad at Jesse again because, you know, he already released his timeline without me. It's like I keep quoting it like, "Without me." They went to dinner
Yes.
without me, and it's so funny. But it's like, okay, so regardless of what you're saying, like, you do this to multiple girls, and Kyle, I love Kyle is like, "Yeah, but you can't be 80% or 90%. You have to be 100%," you know, like, basically he was trying to Wes was trying to say that he was setting boundaries with Ciara to make it seem like he wasn't
Mhm.
interested in hooking up with her, whereas what, with Amanda, you didn't have any boundaries and it just happened? Why do you have boundaries with a single woman who you seemingly were putting on that you like back? But you don't have the same boundaries with Amanda because she says that he kept inviting her places and we see the text messages and all that. Like, that's so weird because this is your friend's wife. So this is
Mhm.
literally making you look worse. So that was just insane to think about.
And then
So go
oh,
ahead.
sorry.
No, go ahead.
I just wanted to say I liked that Kyle, like, when he was like, "Do you love her?" And he's like, "Well, we haven't." I said it back in August, and they, like, showed the scene of him. I like that Kyle said multiple times now, he's likening their relationship to, like, incest. Like, he's like, "Yeah, me and Lindsay, I
Right.
love her, she loves me, but we're not hooking up with each other."
Right.
So, yeah, West we can continue on, I just wanted to say that.
No, yeah, so it'll probably come up because now we're gonna go to what we've all been waiting for, which I feel like people were disappointed in, but I'm like, even though it didn't go the way that you guys may have expected, I'm just glad that it's just they could do whatever the fuck they want because at the end of the day, this was about Ciara and Miha meeting, comparing notes, and probably talking about shit that we haven't seen on camera. So Miha comes over the most beautiful, it pains me every time I say this, the most beautiful woman in the world over this fucking Keebler elf.
Mhm.
She's like, "Do you want a mimosa?" She makes her a mimosa, and at that point, I'm like, "I need a mimosa." Like,
Yes.
everything is just going down. She talks about how she, was staying at West's house, like we talked about at the reunion, putting his furniture together because he was just like, "You know what? Like, I'm about to go film, but I'll be back. Do you just wanna stay here?" And she's like, "I will work from home. I live in Philly. It was just convenient for me to, like, be here." And it is, like, fun to maybe be in on something like a secret relationship, but it was much more than that. He told her much more than that, and it's it's just it's crazy that people are like, Miha is, I mean, I don't know. I wanna ask you this, though. Wait, do you think that Miha is, like, manipulating Ciara in any way? Like, is she a clout chaser? Did you get that from her at all?
I don't think she's manipulating Ciara, and I don't think she's necessarily a clout chaser because she was okay with her relationship being kept private. But I do think that she's, I don't know, a little bit delusional. We can continue.
Okay. So, yeah, they talk about, how their relationship was a secret. Ciara, the good person and the human person that she is, apologizes. "Oh, you had to see me kiss him
So
in,
sweet
like,
for
the
that.
season." I'm just like, "Bro,
Mm,
angels versus
angel.
devils
Uh-huh.
in this episode." Like,
Uh-huh.
crazy to see. They just talk about the nature of their relationship, what he told her, and all these things. And at the end they joke about how they're going to go to like a game, and like they're going to make out, and no one's going to think that they're siblings. And obviously, like, people wanted more like tea essentially, and they also were very alarmed by the fact that, and I actually love this, I'm on the other side that I haven't seen anyone say. Miha said that their relationship is mainly not relationship, but they talk on the phone because of Wes and Amanda's relationship. I think that this is great because I'm a spiteful little bitch,
Mhm.
and I want Wes to just go on back to Miha.
Mhm.
And continue to cheat on Amanda with Miha, because
Mhm.
Amanda truly thinks that, oh, he's not with this black girl, he's not with this Hispanic girl who he's been hiding this entire time.
Mhm.
He's with me. He's out and about in Italy with me. He even gave Miha's invitation to me. Like, he took me to the wedding instead. Me, me, me. I'm the one he's with in public. I'm the one that we're building a life together, or whatever the situation may be. I think it's amazing that she is still talking to him on the phone. Although I don't want that for you, babes, I want it for Amanda just because I want her to be taken down a notch. Like, he's not gonna commit.
Amanda's Melly in Scandal. Like, you know what I mean?
Mm,
Like, you're the public front and what's going on, and he has other relationships, other things cooking. You're not the prize.
right,
Um, it's certainly not going to last. Now, regarding Miha, here's my thing.
right.
It's like, okay, Miha, I don't know if delusional was the right word before, so I guess I'm just gonna try to describe it and then, maybe I'll arrive at the word. I don't
Yeah,
like the fact that she thought she was in on it, right? Like her
mhm,
and West having a secret relationship. It's one thing to just not want to be tied up with Bravo and be tied up with Summer House, right? Like I can get that. And it's
yeah,
kind of fun sneaking around. It's different when you enjoy sneaking around and he's coming home and giving the lowdown of the weekend. And he's like, hey, like, I'm flirting with Ciara this weekend, like, but don't worry about it. You know what I mean? Like, it's just for the show or like, it's just for this. And I can't picture hearing that information and number one, being okay with it. And number two, not thinking in turn, that's going to happen to me. Like the same way that he's communicating this to me and telling me this is just for this.
right.
Um, I feel like that's just a shitty move as a person to just be, like, okay with it, while it's, like, harming,
Someone
Ciara,
else.
someone else.
Yes.
Yes. And, like, even the 6-hour conversation, you can tell that they had more conversations than just that because, like she said, because of her. And I simultaneously do want Amanda to be brought down a peg and have the realization, while I'm also like, I love that Ciara chose her words very carefully and said, "Don't you think it's weird that West is still under the guidance of yourself while he's in a relationship with Amanda?"
Yeah.
Because that's the thing. I feel like Miha was trying to coach him through this situation. She's like, "Just go to Italy, be with your family, be with your friends." And then she felt like it was a slap in the face that he brought Amanda to that event specifically. And it's like, no, babes, you should have severed ties with him a while ago. Like, even him just being like, "Oh, like, you wanna stay at my house and just basically, do all the work and finish everything and make it
Be
nice."
the interior designer, be a fucking housewife while I go and flirt in the Hamptons and be more famous and do my fucking MAGA Barbie podcast and,
He's
in the
Ken.
meantime.
Like, he's asking for the whatever it is, temporary, part-time,
Yes.
whatever girlfriend. Right.
It's for me, I think that she said in her own words that she tends to give partners
Long
a very
leash.
long leash,
Mhm.
and I have never been that way. I'm crazy. I'm just too crazy to do that. But I do know girls like, for example, wags, no tea, no shade if you're a wag. Wags are just like, as long as he comes home at the end of the night, that he knows who he's with. So that's kinda like what I interpreted from it, that she's one of those people who will allow their partner to do whatever, but as long as he comes home at the end of the day, that's pretty much it. But as far as, like, the question is, should Sierra and Miha continue to be friends? For me, I don't really care if they're friends or not. I'm just glad to get Wes out of the picture, and I understand that if they
Mhm,
are friends, Wes may never be out of the picture because Miha may take him back. And it seems
mhm,
like she will take him back
mhm,
if there's a possibility. But
mhm,
as long as Sierra doesn't take him back,
mhm.
and as long as he's not on my screen, and as long as he's not involved also in a spinoff, anything Bravo, anything House of Villains, I don't give a fuck what happens as long as we are done with this man. Like, that's it. Like, that by any means necessary, and preferably Amanda too, but that's just a little bit harder for them to do. For me, she can go. She's not even trying, especially if you just watch In the City. We don't have time to get into that. We'll have more time next week to break down In the City because we don't have Summer House and Real Housewives of Rhode Island. We'll be able to break down that more, but just a note on In the City, we are seeing her lie more and more and try to
Eh,
pretend that she's been trying to stay in this relationship when she's been fully out of it for months. So the fact that, Sierra and Miha had a little kiki at the end where they're like, "Oh, we'll go and make out and like just be petty." Let these girls be petty because they were meeting up talking about a man that was a terrorist, an emotional terrorist. And it just is what it is. Let them have some fun with it. But then Sierra is in Fiji. She's on Love Island. She's going to Dancing with the Stars. Whether she comes back to Summer House or not, I'm fine with it. We are just done with the West chapter, and I could not be more glad. And I hope, knock on wood, that he stays away.
and that's exactly why I don't want them to do the courtside makeout. Ciara, I trust her discernment. If she wants to be friends with Miha, she'll be friends with Miha. If she wants to do the courtside makeout, she'll do it. But I think that number 1, Wes doesn't care. You know what I mean?
Right.
Number 2, Miha thought that that would be a move like he would, like a John Tucker Must Die, like, "Oh
No.
my god, both of my exes are linking up." He's not gonna care. It's just
No.
like,
It gives him more actual,
gives him
like,
more.
it gives it, yeah, feeds more to it. So, like, don't do it, but, like, I get the notion of
Me too.
we met up, we had a mimosa, we
I
talked
get
about this
that too.
motherfucker, and it's filmed, and it's over with. You're done. Nail in the coffin. Next question, next caller.
Ciara's done. We'll see if
Yeah.
Miha, well, maybe
Yeah,
we
I'm
won't.
I'm
She
a
likes being in the shadows, she said, so hey.
Listen, Ciara's my client, not Miha. Miha, I wish you the best, honey. I hope
Yes.
that you sold some ties
Yes.
and, that's it. But, Ciara, that's the one I'm going to war for, and I'm just so happy how this is ending. Bye, Wes. Bye.
Go
That's
East.
it.
Just kidding,
Go
don't. We're
East.
on the East. Actually, yeah, go East. Go more East. I don't know. What I don't know
No,
it that way.
go in the neighborhood of the real true Knicks fans where you literally talked all that shit and said that you
Who's
wanted
on
the
their
Knicks to
downfall.
lose. That's where I want you to go. Go in that neighborhood, because 'cause you're not protected anymore, white boy.
Mhm. Make it a complex interview. I wanna
Exactly.
see.
Alright, well, I mean, that's pretty much it. I mean, did you wanna add anything?
I'm excited to talk about In the City next week. I don't have much thoughts on it, but I think to end, I would just like to say, like, a little
Of
teaser for when we do
course.
talk about it. Half-assed but present, Amanda saying that about herself is not only crazy, but immensely accurate, and it's
Yeah,
how she moves through not only her marriage with Kyle, but her
right,
friendships with Ciara and
right.
everything that she does. Her job, she was at the reunion, half-assed, I didn't watch the show, but I'm present, and
Yep.
for that alone, she's not to be trusted. So that's my closing note.
Amen, and I'm gonna co-sign that. So you guys, hype this video, download, rate 5 stars, let us know your thoughts on the 3 main questions that I asked Leah here. Obviously, what did you think about the interview? Do you think that they should do the courtside makeout? Is Miha gonna take him back? Do you think that they're still in contact right now? Is he with a new girl like Lindsay and a lot of people are saying? What's going on with Dumont? Let us know your thoughts in the comment section here, and we'll be back very soon. We're also covering, Love Island. Listen to our Love Island takes. I mean, we can finally, I feel like the shackles are released. We can finally get to other shows and Bravo and all these good things, Next Gen NYC, all these good things, The Vampire Lestat, all these good things. Let us know what you're watching. Love you guys and thank you for watching and thank you for listening. Bye.
Bye.